Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on ICU Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Again, thank you so much for watching. I definitely appreciate it. You know what we're going to talk about today? Yeah, this is going to be a really lighthearted subject. You're going to learn a lot about this. It all pertains to a bar of soap. Yeah, you got it. This is some of the soap I make, and this is about a bar of soap that you can use, guess where? In the garden. Yeah, you're looking at me right now like, what? A bar of soap in the garden? Absolutely, you can use a bar of soap in the garden. I'm going to give you some really good ideas and some tips. And by the way, this is the website. I found it, housedigest.com. I found all kinds of great articles on this website. Housedigest.com. 12 reasons you should put a bar of soap in your garden. So let's go ahead and get started. So that bar of soap that you keep in your bathroom right there has more uses than washing your hands and body. So the places you can use them are endlessly. I mean, I've used soap on everything. Like if you have like a door that the lock is not quite working, if you get soap and just kind of like that, and you can actually unstop a stuck key by using a bar of soap. It's really easy to do. You know, another thing I like to use it for is when I go out in the garden is on my fingernails. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and get that bar of soap and I'll just scrape my nails with this bar of soap. You know what that's going to do? First of all, my fingernails are going to be longer. I'm not going to be breaking them off. And I don't care how careful you are. I don't care what gloves you wear. You're still going to get this funky stuff, dirt and everything in your fingernails. So if you just scrape that bar of soap, that's going to keep that from happening. Your nails won't be stained and you're not going to be breaking them off. Well, for the most part, you won't be. I can still find a way to do that. You can also put them in clothing drawers and linens. A lot of people do that. And also you can unstick zippers by doing that. Yeah, like my son when he was little, I don't know, he's just horrible on his clothes. It'll also unstick a zipper. Those are things you can do inside the house. So let's talk about what you can do outside the house. So let's look at this little video right here. There's a bar of soap and it's sticking up on a stick. So while watching your life, keeping animals out of the garden, by the way, so while watching the wildlife in your yard is fun, some critters are really destructive to your garden. So if you're growing flowers or vegetables, you just want to get rid of rabbits, deer, sometimes other animals, a bar of soap could actually be your answer. Now, some animals have sensitive noses, and so the smelly scent of a fresh bar of soap could be enough to keep them out of your plant. So in this case, the more pungent the soap, the better. So look for something kind of like Irish Spring, which is actually known for its potent scent. Get the fresher soaps too, so the longer it sets out, the more it loses the initial powerful aroma. Now, if your bar's scent seems to be fading, I'll tell you what you can do. And I mean, anybody can do this. So what you do, get your bar of soap and just cut it up in little bitty pieces. Get some essential oil, that'll work, or something really fragrant like Victoria's Secret's Love Spell. That's a winner for everybody. So what you can do is just get it, put it in the microwave, by the way, and now don't burn it. So you'll need to do it like in, say, 15, 20-second segments. Do that, melt it down, then put your essential oil in there and put it in something. It can be just like an old cola can or something. And you made yourself a bar of soap. Now, let's see what they say about this. Okay, for fresher, it says if your bar seems to be fading, cut it into chunks to release more fragrance. So you can do that. You can also use it to keep the deer away. This is an issue we have here in the South. And if you want to hang the soap from your garden fencing, or you can spear it with sticks to plant it in the garden itself, whatever's easier for you. So while fencing may keep the bunnies away at bay, deer have a pretty high jump, so you might want to put it up a little bit higher for them. Now, if you're worried about soap suds after a rainy day, you can help contain the mess in a mesh bag. So, but the key to avoiding a mess in the first place is to practice that less is more. Shave a few pieces into the dirt like every couple of days rather than throwing full bars into the soil would be the absolute best way to do it. So get you a knife and just like you're whittle some soap and throw that all around. It's going to keep those things out. Number 2, let's talk about this one. This is going to keep them bad bugs away. From garden to home, soap may help keep bugs away, including flies. Now, if you have fruit flies bombarding your indoor garden, you can defeat them with a bar of Irish Spring. Now, if the bugs keep finding their way into your outdoor garden, it'll help too, but you can simply leave a bar of soap by the plants that are having the most issues with bugs. Or if it's your home garden or your greenhouse being attacked, you can also use soap to coat the doors and windows and other places where those nasty bugs are absolutely getting in. So it's made to be gentle, so it shouldn't harm your home. So if you'd rather not rub soap into the wood, you can also try hanging it from a piece of string. Plus, having a bar of freshly scented soap around while you're gardening will also help keep the gnats away and mosquitoes away from you as well, not just the plants. So be sure to check a bar every once in a while, especially after it rains, so you can replace it maybe once it starts melting away. Now, something else that absolutely works is Avon's Skin So Soft. So we're going to talk about uses for Skin So Soft as well. Number 3, fight bugs that are already on your plants. Yeah, we want to fight them suckers out, okay? Look at those things. If bugs are infesting your garden and you just can't pick them off, or if they've laid eggs and you need to kill them at their source, you can use soap to safely remove them from your plants. Just be sure to use the bar soap and not dish soap. Now, dish soap is a detergent and it can be harsh on those sensitive plants. Don't want anything happening to your plants. So bar soap is much gentler. So all you have to do is lather up and gently rub that lather into your plant's leaves and the stems. So let me tell you about a plant. Okay, so first of all, you got your root. It could be a tap root, it could be whatever. Then you have the stem. Okay, the stem and the leaves are going to tell you how healthy this plant is. Okay, so if you've got, say, brown spots on the leaves, that probably means you need more nitrogen. You won't know that unless you do a soil test. So you need to call your county extension's office and tell them where you live, give them your address. It needs to be within your county, okay? They're going to know more what happens and how to benefit you from your county. I don't care where you live in the United States. It's your county extension office you want to find, okay? We have a wonderful one in DeKalb County, Alabama. They are fantastic. If you need help on anything, gardening or even canning, they'll help you with that as well. Did you know canning really kind of depends on the altitude? So if I can something in North Alabama, which is full of the woods and hills and mountains and that kind of thing, I'm going to use a different pressure point than is if I went to see my friend, say Joanne, down in the Gulf Shores. Okay, so she doesn't have to put as much pressure as I do. But anyway, it's totally different. So check them out, your county extension office. And bugs cannot be killed with soap, by the way. Only smaller bugs with the soft bodies can be dried out to the point of death with this trick, which is why this works on aphids. Aphids can just... They're also good when dealing with mites and white flies, but you won't have much luck battling the Japanese beetles. I hate those things. However, you may be able to drown them in a bucket of soapy water. Just pour the water into a spray bottle and then drench those plants with that solution. Okay, so let's talk about using it to make it a bug deterrent and helping it to stick better. Okay, so let's look at this. There's your spray bottle. There's your nozzle. If you don't want to individually lather each infested leaf with soapy water, you can add bar soap to your insect repellent to fight off those nasty little bugs. So what you can do is add liquid hand soap to your spray gun. It's going to be a lot easier, and it's an excellent source to finish off miscellaneous chunks of bar soap too by melting them down and mixing them with the repellent. That way you won't have to waste those little tiny bars of soap. So why do you want to do this? Because soap is sticky. That's why. We're not using the soap to kill the bugs, but we're mixing it with repellent or pesticide to make the agent stick better. This means you can kill a wider variety of those pests than you would with a bar of soap alone. Plus, you don't need to add water in this case, so the mixture will be more potent with its application. Number 5, now this one's one I'm going to do a little bit more research on, okay, because we have compost pile. So you can actually add soap to your compost. So if you're serious about your garden, you probably have a composter or a compost pile. Yeah, we have several on 38 acres. There's a lot of them out there. So to fight off those annoying insects that are drawn to the bin, add your leftover chunks of bar soap to your compost. It can also help fight off that mildew, and there's plenty of biodegradable soap options out there. So this is a great opportunity to use that sliver of soap that ends up being left behind. So I'm going to start saving mine. So it's too small to wash with, and nobody wants to waste the extra water to melt away that one little piece. So throw it in the compost bin when it comes in handy. This is the case. Don't toss brand new bars in, just the leftover pieces, okay? You don't want to waste soap. However, ensure your soap has no synthetic dyes or fragrances, since that can compromise the pile. So you want to use something like mine. Okay, so I use natural dyes in mine. What you see right here is actually, right here is a bit of cinnamon. Right here, this has a little bit of chocolate in it. So I use all natural stuff. So I don't use up the whole bar. Fine, we'll throw it into the compost pile. And that way, and by the way, it smells really good. And then that way it's biodegradable. I'm not using some harsh something, you know, that you don't know what you're buying anymore. I even make my own soap. So, and I sell them for a fee. They're very inexpensive, by the way. Send me a message and I'll be glad to send you some info about that. But these small little slivers should take about 6 months to break down. So ensure you don't replenish them more than twice a year. Okay, here's one I find very interesting right here. And it says, and this is housedigest.com, that it kills weeds. I don't like weeds, do you? That's one of the big reasons people don't have gardens, but there are so many things you can do to make sure you don't have weeds. Use a, do a concrete block garden. First of all, that's a great way. But pulling weeds is one of the most tedious things to do when you're keeping your garden neat and tidy. It's also a task you don't want to skip for too long, because those weeds can get out of control and choke out the plants you actually want to grow. So before using harsh chemicals in your veggie garden, consider making your own weed killer using those leftover bits or maybe chunks of bar soap. Now, while some of the recipes do use dish soap, we recommend avoiding that harsher cleaning agent, says the author of housedigest.com, and using something milder in its place. This is where the bar soap comes in handy. You can melt your soap in a pan. I do mine in the microwave. It's less messy and I don't have to worry so much about it boiling over. And it's quicker and it's cleaner. So just on low heat, by the way. And if you're doing this in the microwave, you need to make sure you do this in about 20-second intervals, okay? Stir it often so it doesn't burn. Now, a double boiler, like those using candle making, is actually the better choice. Then you can mix your liquidized soap in some white vinegar in a spray bottle. You want to use about 1 ounce of soap to 1 gallon of vinegar. Spray directly on those pesky weeds, not the plants you want to keep now, because it will dry them out. So to get deep into the roots, skip the spray and pour the mixture directly into the dirt, and they'll be gone. You will not see another weed. Let's head to a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a minute. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
For 12 years. Why are you doing it?
Because God's children are not for sale.
We're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. Find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Such a pleasure to be with you every day, Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Or if you're watching us on social media, just whenever you get the anchor and you want to watch The Edge, go ahead and look it up. You can also find us on YouTube and all the social media sites. Twitter, which is called X now, you can find us there as well. We're talking about soap. And soap, I have my homemade soap. If you find someone, now I ship it out all over the place, but if you find somebody who makes homemade soap, this is much better to put in your compost pile, okay, than using a highly fragrant, you don't know what is in it kind of a soap. I have color, but see, I use cinnamon for the outside right here in this color. This is actually cocoa. So that's why you're seeing the darker colors with the lights, and it smells awesome. Okay, so number 7, and we're going to go with this one. This is use it as a combat contact with poisonous plants. By the way, you can find this on housedigest.com. So while you're busy killing off weeds in the garden, there's a chance you're going to run into a peskier problem, something like poison oak or poison ivy, which I'm very allergic to. So if you've had to run in with any poisonous plant that leaves behind painful skin rashes, you should combat the burning and the itching with soap, which is even another good reason that you need to have some bars of soap hanging out with your gardening gear. Okay, I carry my cutters with me everywhere I go, and I want to keep a pair in the car. So anyway, keep them with me. Little did I know I might need to keep a bar of soap with me as well. So while some commercial products can ease a tangle with poison ivy, getting some soap on it right away will help you keep you from developing this itchy rash. So you get in contact with it, get that soap. Put that on your wherever you just touched it by accident. I sometimes think this stuff jumps up on me. I don't know how that works, because I can look, really, I never touch it. I don't want to. I think sometimes I just walk by it and it says, "Hi Donna, here I am," and it jumps on me, and then I have poison oak. Okay, so you'll remove the plant oil that's causing the issues when you use that bar of soap, nipping the problem in the bud. So rather than scrubbing, which can leave you with more pain, I've done that before, lather up your soap bar and lightly clean the area. Then be sure to get under your fingernails, because that's where it can hide too, and clean up any tools that came in contact with the culprit. So once you're indoors, clean your clothing and take a shower, please. Number 8, clean your plants. Let's take a look at this one right here. Just as indoor plants get dusty and need a bit of cleaning now and then, outdoor plants also get dirty. Hey, they're outside, so of course they are. And they can sometimes benefit from a good washing. Now, this is especially true with decorative leafy plants in your flower garden. Lots of big old leaves like your banana tree leaves. By the way, I was going to tear down and just do away with all of my banana trees. Decided not to, because it makes wonderful compost. And it's beautiful green that you can put on the browns, and so that's just absolutely wonderful. Now, let's talk about the patio pots. Not only are clean plants healthier because they absorb more nutrients when they're not covered in dirt, but regular cleaning will also leave them looking vibrant rather than dingy. So rather than dousing the whole flower garden with a ton of water, you can gently clean off leaves with some suds from your lathered up bar of soap. Again, I would find someone who makes the soap, okay? That way you know what's in it. Lather your hands, spread the foam onto the leaves, both on the top and underneath. Now, once they are sudsy, you want to gently wipe the leaves with a damp towel and let them either air dry or clean them with one of those microfiber cloths. Not only will this help your plants look vibrant, it'll also help control the pest infestations. Oh, talk about the pest. Okay, clean pots before reusing them. This is extremely important. A lot of people don't do this, but if your garden consists of any potted plants, or if you have a porch container garden, you want your bar of soap on hand when it's time to do some repotting. Now, when repotting plants, it may seem easier to dump out a dead plant and put a new one in its place without any sort of cleaning. After all, they're both plants. It's just dirt, right? No. Cleaning plants is important, because bugs can hang around the traces of the dirt left behind. This plant could also be molded, it could be contaminated, and especially if your plant died of root rot, you don't want to pass it on to the next generation. So there's also a chance that if you're using clay pots, the buildup of salt deposits could damage those plants by drying them out. So err on the side of caution and clean your pots with a bucket of water and some bar soap. Make sure you do that. You can use a regular sponge or one of those microfiber cloths if you have those little delicate pots. I have the heavy duty ones. I gotta have the heavy duty. Clean up your tools. So important. It's just as important to clean off your garden tools after each use. to not spread bugs or diseases from one plant to another. So you want to clean and sterilize your instruments after working with them. So if you'll go ahead and do this on a regular basis, sanitizing them will also help prevent them from becoming dull or rusty, ensuring that they last longer. So this is what you want to do. Now I use rubbing alcohol, and I'll get that and just kind of spritz it on my cutters. But you can also grab a bucket of water and that extra bar of soap to wash your tools. But you first want to wipe off any excess dirt. What Phil will always do, he has this like super powerful nozzle. So what he'll do is get my tools and take them out there, and he sprays them down really good. That's a good thing to do. So once you're cleaning the garden tools, dry them to make sure that you prevent dust or rusting. It's also important to keep the handles of the tools cleaned and dried. Now with the wooden handle tools, you want to clean them with damp cloth and bar soap rather than submerging them directly into the water. It can cause warping over time. Also likely lead to future splinters. We don't want that. It's also a good idea to rub them with mineral oil after, and that keeps them from drying out. They're going to last you for almost an eternity if you'll do it that way. You can also lubricate your tools too. Oh, let's talk about that. Let's find number 11, because this is a real important picture right here. 10, let's get right here. There we go, number 11. Okay, there we go, look. So lubricating your gardening tools, especially the shears, is just as important as keeping your tools clean. So while oil is often suggested for lubrication, like the stuff that comes with your hair cutting clippers, you can also use a bar of soap. That way, you don't have to waste money buying multiple cleaning products. So this is extremely important. So if you want to just kind of Google and search a few things, you can find homemade deer repellent. Just Google it. You'll find it, homemade deer repellent. How to remove age spots, if you want to find that. Also baking soda for arthritis. There's so many things that you can do. Okay, now for this task, you're most likely to do it with a zipper that's stuck or not moving smoothly. So you want to smooth that bar of soap along the blades of your cutting tools, including spades and hoes. Now the soap will leave a thin coating that won't rust since you're not using liquid. Not using water. So the next time you grab your shears to trim your fruit trees or cut your rosemary, some of which a lot of us had to replant because of the weird weather we had. The next time you grab your shears, trim your fruit trees, or cut your rosemary, you'll produce a smooth cut. So it actually helps. And since you're not using harsh chemicals, you don't have to worry about the safety of your herbs and veggies when it comes time to consume them. Okay, now let's talk about this part right here. We've got just enough time to do this. So this is number 12. Clean up your hands. You know, your mother and your grandmother always told you to do that. So before you start cleaning your tools, you may want to wash your hands. Just one more reason a bar of soap is handy in the garden. You won't have to dirty your door and faucet and handles, and your wife's not going to get mad at you if you're the hubby out there working and stuff. And just to wash your hands. Now, this allows you to enjoy your harvest faster since you won't have a trail of dirt to clean. Instead, grab the garden hose and your bar of soap and wash up. No need to dirty your tools again while you're trying to clean them. Some gardeners suggest putting dry soap underneath your nails before gardening to prevent dirt from getting into your nails. I mentioned that in the early part of the show. It blocks the soil from going inside and will dissolve once you wash your hands. All sorts of bacteria can hide under your nails, so that's why you don't want to risk getting any of that gunk on your freshly cut and pulled vegetables and herbs. Why would you want to do that? Thank you so much for watching The Edge. That was a quick show. Your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you so much for watching. You're the apple of my eye. You definitely are. I'll see you a little bit later. Oh, and by the way, any suggestions for shows? Donna at donnasedge.com. Thank you.